Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We're continuing Hachzeg's learning of the Pele Yoetz, day number 163, and we are beginning Ois Daled, the letter Daled right now, a new chapter, and we are holding over here in the chapter of Dveikos, of getting close to Hashem. And this is really very beautiful, inspiring words of the Pele Yoetz. So let's try to take it to heart, Emet Hashem. The Dveikos, clinging to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, being close to Hashem. Dveikos b'Hashem Yisbarach mitzvah mitarag mitzvahs. It's one of the 613 mitzvahs. Did you know that? Being Dovid, being close to the Rabbi Shalom, as we're going to see what that means, is a mitzvah just like keeping kosher, just like putting on tefillin, just like keeping Shabbos, just like not speaking Lashon Hara, all of the mitzvahs that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us. One of the things that he wants is that we should be Dovid, we should cling to him. Shei Dovid b'Hashem tadir, we should be Dovid, we should cling to Hashem constantly. B'cheshek rav, with a very strong desire. B'rishbei shalheves ava, with fires of ava, of love that are burning inside of us. Ve'ein l'chamida toive imeno dekoilaba, there is no greater midah, no better trait than having dveikos in Hashem, because everything is included in that, as we are going to see. Ulevi chashivusa, however, according to its chashivas, because it's so valuable and important in our world of avodas Hashem, koishas sagasa, that also is the reason why it's so difficult to achieve and to reach. Hakoylev yimaisav shel adam, everything goes according to the actions of a person. Ulevi ishtadlusai, how much effort he makes, the machshava in his thoughts, the dibor in his words, umaisa and his actions, yoim hoylech v'godol. Every single day, the more effort that you make in to think about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to speak about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to do actions that show that you are living with Hashem, every day will grow and grow and grow your dveikos, your closeness to Hashem. Umekadesh atzma milamata, someone who is mekadesh, sanctifies themselves down here in this world. Mekadesh yenoisa milamala, above in Shamayim, they'll be mekadesh and they'll sanctify him as well. So you put in your effort down here, the Rebbeinu Shem sees how much you want to be Dovid, how much you want to be close to him. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring that closeness to fruition. Until a spirit from above pours down upon him, and purifies and sanctifies the person. So how do you know if you're doing a good job in trying to attain the dveikos? If you could feel the ruach mimorim, that spirit of kedusha and tahara that is coming from above and creating the dveikos, the connection between you and Hashem, that shows that you're working hard down here. Every person is obligated according to their abilities to put in all of their effort, to be able to fulfill this mitzvah, whenever and wherever, at whatever time they can remind themselves, I have to be Dovid in Hashem, I have to be Dovid in Hashem, fulfill that mitzvah. Such a good idea, says the Pele Yoetz. Why didn't you write this idea down on a piece of paper so that wherever you're sitting, it'll be a remembrance between your eyes constantly. You'll look at the paper. I have to be Dovid with Hashem. I have to speak about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I have to think about Hashem. I have to do mitzvahs that show my dveikos in Hashem. And the more that I work, the more it's going to happen, and Hashem's going to then pour down the ruach mimoran from above on top of me. So says the Pele Yoetz, why don't you write it down? And that way you'll see, you remind yourself constantly. Someone that comes to purify themselves, above in Shemayim, they're going to help him. So you're going to get tremendous siyata d'Shemayim from HaKadosh Baruch Hu if you want that dveikos. Chazal teach us al pasuk. The pasuk says, "Uladavka boy." This is where we see that it's a mitzvah in the Targum mitzvahs. Dov, cling to Hashem. But is it possible, the Gemara asks, for a person to be Dovid, to cling to the Shechina? It says about the Shechina, Ki Hashem Elokecha eish oich lahu. Hashem is like fire, will consume a person. How can you get close to Hashem? He's fire. And therefore, if you get too close to him, you're going to burn up. Ella, says the Gemara, the way that you cling to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is emulate or cling to his midas, to his traits. Mahu rachum, just like Hashem is merciful, compassionate, afat harachum, you have to be compassionate as well. Mahu chanun, just like Hashem is gracious to others, avat chanun, you should be gracious and kind to others as well. The problem is that everybody thinks that they're already clinging and they're emulating the midas of Hashem. Shekol Yisraelim Rachmanim, B'nei Rachmanim. All the Jewish people are compassionate people, and they're the children of compassionate people. Can you find me a person who doesn't have mercy and he's not gracious and kind to poor people? Of course, the Jews are Balei Tzedakah, Balei Chesed, they do nice things. So do we really have to work on this? Says the Pele Yoetz, the average person thinks there's nothing for me to work on. This is the way of Klal Yisrael. But you have to listen what the Pele Yoetz says over here. However, in order to be Dovid, to cling to the ways of Hashem, you have to be compassionate and merciful, and kind and gracious. Even to your enemy who's trying to do bad to you. You want to be really like the Ribbono Shel Olam. You want your midas, your character traits to be really in line with Hashem. Your compassion and your mercy and your kindness should emulate the ways of Hashem. Just like HaKadosh Baruch Hu pumps up the world with life, and He gives us powers, and He gives us abilities and talents and money and health and a house and a wife and children and everything, and a job. He gives it all. And we are constantly spitting in the face of Hashem with our many sins, with our lashon hara, with our laziness when it comes to avodas Hashem and doing mitzvahs, with the judgment that we make of other people, with the sinas chinam that is seething inside of us, and the lack of emunah, and the lack of bitachon, and the anger we get with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. With all of that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's compassion never wanes, and He continues to load us up with life. You want to really emulate the ways of Hashem? You have to pick that one person that is driving you crazy, that one person that is out to get you, that one person who really gets under your skin, everything that they do. Be compassionate to that person. Might be your spouse, it might be your children, it might be your brother, it might be your sister, it might be your parents, it might be the guy that's in shul next to you that drives you crazy because he breathes too heavy during the silent Shemona Esrei, where his belt buckle constantly taps against the table when he's shuckling back and forth, and it irritates you. You have to be nice and kind and compassionate to everyone, says the Pele Yoetz, even your greatest enemy. But he's not done. And he says like this, even if he's a very wicked person with evil deeds that he does, and he stands up and he goes against you. Don't you dare, says the Pele Yoetz, withhold goodness and mercy and kindness from your arch enemy who's standing in your way. Even if that chesed that you do for him, he uses it to do bad against you. The guy needs a loan. You know this guy is evil, he's no good, he's probably not going to pay you back. But I have to have rachmanis. So I give the guy a loan, he takes that money and he uses it to go against me with whatever it is that he buys. Nevertheless, do not withhold goodness from him. Just like HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He accustoms Himself and He acts that way with His creations. We are not worthy of Hashem's chesed. We are not deserving of His kindness and of His mercy and His compassion. And yet HaKadosh Baruch Hu overlooks all the wrong that we do. He overlooks all of the betrayal, all of the rebellion that we have against Him, and He continues to give us goodness and brachas every single day of our lives. Kvar Kodesh, Moshe Cordovera, Besefer Tomer Devara, Moshe Cordovera, the holy student of the Arizal, the great Mekubal, he wrote in his Sefer Tomer Devara, he spends a lot of time to explain in depth the 13 midas, the 13 traits of Rachamim, of Hashem's mercy, the and how every person can emulate those ways. And I, the poor indigent soul over here that I am, says the Pele Yoetz. If that's the Pele Yoetz, oy vavoy, what's going to be with us? I took his words and I put them bekitzer. I condensed them in my writings. Ores elim ashrei adam shomea likroloi. Fortunate is the man, and happy will that man be who reads these words. Elu hashloishes midas lefachos hamachas b'chodesh. Even if you just read the 13 attributes of Hashem and understand them once a month, it will change your life, says the Pele Yoetz. You then will begin to inculcate inside of yourselves the real emulation of the ways of Hashem. You should put in all effort to accustom your midos to the ways of Hashem. And with help from the Rabbi Shalom, Allah, you will certainly rise up and go up to higher heights. And you'll be able to emulate the lofty ways of Hashem. And this is what Devekis, this is what it means being close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is really all about. Have a wonderful day.